What up? Tgreenman in the house. How is everybody? So, we got a lot upstairs today. Got a lot of pounding about. But, yeah. So what is today's video about? We're going to call this Leading by Example. What does leading by example mean? Well, if you haven't noticed, human beings tend to think that they can see things before they happen. So you have a bunch of human beings who sit around and they try to learn as much as they can. But what they don't realize is intellect and knowledge are useless. They're useless. They're useless unless they're actually put into motion, because that's where wisdom comes in. Wisdom is beyond intellect and knowledge, because wisdom understands the grand scheme of things. So where am I going with all this, and what does this have to do with leading by example? Well, a wise man knows the best way to come in and fix something isn't to come in and start pointing at all the things that are wrong. That's not what a wise man does. A smart man does. A smart man's going to be like, okay, we need to fix this, 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 we need to fix this. But a wise man knows you have to come in and fix everything yourself, piece by piece. So where I'm going with all this, with wisdom compared to society and reality and all these other things are... Sorry guys, I'm still a little sick. I'll get my teeth ripped out tomorrow. But anyways, a wise man knows he doesn't tell people what they should do to change. He brings out what he knows is already there so they can use that to help the situation. You know what I mean? Everything is a piece by piece knowledge. So a lot of times too, like I'm going to go into more of the leading example part. Where I was going with all this is, for instance, let's say you come into something, right? You know this guy's really good at, let's say cooking, right? You got a little knowledge, but you know he's really good at cooking. So you kind of see him, behind a little bit. He's cooking, not doing his thing, whatever, not prepping fast enough, maybe got something on his mind, however, whatever it may be. Would you, most people would, try to pep him up a little bit, pump him up, get him going, rather than wisely identifying why he is where he is, what is lacking in that, and then encouraging that aspect of him. That's kind of a lead by example, because you're taking the initiative to go outside of what would already be on. Somebody who leads by example doesn't sit around and, decide what needs to be fixed or tell people what needs to be fixed. He goes out and fixes it. He just does it. He doesn't wait for certain things. People are too patient sometimes. Patience is a virtue, but patience is also a plague too, if you're too patient. Because when you're patient, you start building resentment if you become too patient. Because, not everything comes to you in this universe. Some things take action to receive. It's just like when you play a video game, like you have to collect these certain things before you get to that door. It's the same thing with life. That's why this existence exists. This existence doesn't exist just like it's some thing that's so great and grandiose beyond spiritual existence. This existence exists to expand spiritual existence beyond its already existing form. That's kind of hard to understand, but basically we're extensions of the spiritual existence. Religion is created to formulate so the human mind can understand the concept of existence. Existence doesn't really matter. It does. It matters if you want to exist. Existence. But if you don't want to exist, you don't have to exist. You can off yourself. There's a lot of things you could do. Not promoting that, but we have the choices to do whatever we want in life. You can also benefit yourself. You can choose whatever you want to do. That is the key. It's not about finding what someone else wants you to do. I notice a lot of people search for somebody to tell them what they want to do. Those are the people that don't trust themselves. If you're always looking for somebody else to guide you to you, then you don't love you. You don't love you unless you're happy with you. If you can survive with just yourself, that is probably the most important thing you can learn in life. It doesn't matter what you achieve. If you can die happy with yourself, it doesn't matter what you achieve. It doesn't matter if you get a woman. It doesn't matter if you get a car. It doesn't matter if you get a house or whatever you get. Because physical existence means nothing. When you die, you're not attached to this. That stuff doesn't go with you. The love of your life doesn't go with you. She doesn't die with you. The children you gain, they don't leave with you. Those are extensions of your spiritual existence that are left behind, that are connected to you. That's the reality of it. So to become connected to too much here, and I think that's why we get hurt and we suffer, is we have to realize that no matter what we think, love or whatever, love, yes, you can love. Love is great, but it's nothing if you don't love yourself. Because if you can't be by yourself and love yourself, then you'll never make anybody happy in your own life, because you can't exist within yourself. It's not about somebody else's existence to help you become the best you. It's about you becoming the best you yourself. Whatever you have to go through your own perception. That's why it's not right for somebody else's perception to tell somebody if they're to change or not. Like, to find out somebody went through something real bad, you're like, that really sucks, man, but you got to get up and do it, man. No, that's not the right advice. The best advice is to work within what they think they cannot do within themselves. Ask them, hey, man, I know you went through some rough stuff. What can I do to help? Oh, yeah, cool. You know what I mean? Find out what their next steps are. Help them achieve those next steps. But it's not up to us to tell people what they need to do within their own lives. We have to guide them to the best version of themselves, or else they can never stand on their own. If they're not making their own choices in their own life, they're always going to be waiting to have somebody else tell them the right choice. And that's no way to live. We can live on our own behalf, but we have to believe in ourselves to live on our own behalf. And that's really the secret. Once you believe in yourself, you're going to take the actions necessary to keep living. And in any situation, you're always going to be. And that's why I say all humans are leaders. Dang, this fly is just going crazy. But you're always going to have things living around you that try to pull you back as well. People. The most loving people in your life are going to be the ones who hold you back the most. They're going to tell you the wrong things because they don't actually understand what you want. Only you understand what you want. Until you grasp that and hold on to it and really go for it in the right aspect. And if it requires doing something to somebody else or making somebody else think a certain way, then it's not the right direction. You can't make other people feel like if somebody else doesn't agree with the same thing. Let's say you love somebody, right? But that person doesn't love you back and they say, no, I don't love you. Don't just keep going at that person because you're not respecting that person's right to say, no, I don't love you. You're forcing your love upon that person. That's where it becomes obsession. Obsession is dangerous because obsession can cloud everything. Because it can seem as it's the only thing that's right because your brain's telling you that and it's pinging because you have some impulse into your brain that you can't shut off. That's where grounding comes in because you have to realize where you are. And if you're obsessing upon something and you need something to survive, but you actually realize you don't need it, like if it's not food and water or sleep or something like that, and it's something outside that and it's another person, then you don't love yourself. And that's the fact. Because you should be able to exist without something, without needing anything. And then whatever's going to come into your existence is going to come on its own. If it was meant to come into your existence, it's just going to come in. There's nothing you can do to change it or rearrange it. Just like if somebody else is into your life, if they love you and they're supposed to love you, they're going to love you. No matter what, you can walk away and forget who they are. Once they hear your name once or see you once, eventually they're going to be back in your arms. That's how love works if you connect to that person. And if you're being the right person that loves yourself. That's just the reality of it. So my advice and thing is, do what you think is necessary in society and don't expect other people to do it. And be yourself. Do what you want to do. Don't take other people's things, and don't listen to anybody who tells you what to do in life. Do what you want to do in life. If you know what you're doing is right for who you are, do that. Don't do what other people tell you. People who follow other people are cowards. People who tell other people what to do are cowards. Because the people who get told what to do, they want to tell other people what to do. That's how it works. It feels like if you get told something from somebody you respect, oh, I have this power now, I could tell other people what to do. No, you can't, because they're the same person as you. You're actually the weaker person if you think you can tell other people what to do. You have to let them be themselves. You have to let them feel their own thoughts, have their own opinions, and be who they are. So, with that, Tgreenman out.